All right. All right. We're going to look at y equals mx plus b, or the format for a linear equation on a graph. This is known as slope-intercept form. And so first thing I'm going to do, so y equals mx plus b, m stands for your slope, and b stands for your y-intercept, also known as where the graph starts. The graph starts on the y-axis, because when we're talking about graphing, except for when you're just looking at numbers, we're talking about real world, okay? And in the real world, time cannot be negative. So in the real world, these two quadrants of the graph really don't exist, because we can't have negative time or negative distance, so to speak. So when we talk about B for the y-intercept, or I like to think of B for beginning, we're talking about the y-axis, or where the graph starts. Now, the other reason we call it the beginning is because if you notice on the y-axis, the value for x is 0. All up and down the y-axis, the value for x is 0. And remember, the x value is our input. It's also our independent variable. And so we start counting at 0. So that is why, also why y-axis. Okay, so I'm going to add these sliders in here so we can see. So right now, we're going to just focus on what happens to our slope. So right now it says I have M for mountain. So fun fact, slope in math was originally founded by a French mathematician, and in French, M is monter. Monter means to climb a mountain, so they looked at slope as in climbing a mountain. Okay, so I'm going to show you what happens. What happens when we change the slope? So right now the slope is 1. What happens if I make it 0.1? See, the lower the slope, the shallower the line. That means for every single one it increases, it takes 10 for the x. See, this would be a good point, and then right here would be a good point. And remember, slope is rise over run, so up 1 and over 10. So 0.1, 1/10. Still positive though. Now watch what happens. Obviously, the higher the number goes, the steeper the slope. And the lower the number, the shallower the slope. Now, what happens? Oh, when I go negative, look, the line changes directions. So when it's positive, the line goes up from left to right. But when it is negative, the line goes down from left to right. I like to think of riding my bike. So, we'll do this. I ride my bike. I ride my bike, I ride my bike, I ride my bike. Here's the hill. And I'm riding up the hill, because remember we read from left to right, so I'm riding up the hill, positive slope. But if it's negative, I ride my bike, I ride my bike, I ride my bike, and I'm riding down the hill, negative slope. Okay, so the slope, M, changes the direction of the line and the steepness of the line. So remember, slope is a rate, and it's a measure of steepness. Now we're just going to leave that slope at 1. Okay, now we're going to look at B, B for beginning, or where the line begins. Right now it says the line begins at 0, so that's right here at 0, 0. Watch what happens when I change B. I'm going to change B to 3. Come on, right there on the 3. No. There, okay, we'll change B to 4. Now look. The line crosses the y-axis when y is 4. But remember, x is still 0. Everywhere on the y-axis, x is 0. So the line crosses the y-axis when x is 0 and y is 4. So right here, x is 0 because remember it doesn't move left or right, but the y value is 4. So this is where the line starts. Now I can keep going and see the line will move up higher and higher as my b value goes up. So right here the line crosses at the 8. So the y-intercept would be 8. And I can go in reverse and we'll go down to -7. Here's 0 and the line crosses at -7. So the y-axis is the measurement of where the graph starts, B for beginning. So this number would tell you the graph starts here at -7. M stands for slope, or how quickly or slowly. So quickly, high slope, slowly, low slope, the graph moves.